Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I want to ask you a question. Are you waking up and constantly, or are you waking up and you still feel tired? You're always feeling tired when you wake up. I know you're probably thinking, oh yeah, he's going to say see an acupuncturist. Well, guess what? You're right about that. Along with seeing a physician on an annual basis. Yes, make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. But now, here's what's key. Do you know why? And some of you may have slept for 8 hours and you'll get up and it seems as if you feel just as tired as when you did when you went to bed. You don't feel refreshed. You're feeling totally like chi deficient. Now, there can be several reasons for that, but I'll start out even by saying, I know some of you are thinking, I'm not really moving around too much. I'm sleeping. I'm laying in the bed. So why am I still feeling tired? Now, what can be zapping your chi while you sleep is your mental activity. What's going on in your head when you went to sleep? When you fell asleep, were you stressed? Were you anxious? Were you depressed? Did you have any mental and emotional disorders like happening? Or you're just in that phase? You should know by now, if you're a regular listener of Acupuncture is My Life podcast, you're suffering from any mental and emotional disorder, you should contact your acupuncturist. You should see an acupuncturist right away. Right away. But just outside of that, there are several reasons like why you may wake up tired all the time. One can be like due to sleep inertia, which is basically a term for like feeling groggy in the morning, and you'll feel like a little wobbly when you attempt to stand up. You're sort of disoriented when you get out of bed. As if like, your brain is struggling to like wake up and start working. Well, it's always working, even when you're sleeping, but I'm just throwing it out there. Now, this could be due to slow blood flow to the brain. And that slow blood flow can last for like as long as 30 minutes after you've awakened. Now, you ever remember me saying, when the body, when yin and yang is in balance, chi and blood flows harmoniously, body can self-regulate, and so forth and so on. Here we have a disturbance in blood flow. And if there's a disturbance in blood flow, there's a disturbance in the flow of chi throughout the body. So, faced with sleep inertia, and which is basically poor blood flow or slow blood flow to the brain for the first 30 minutes after you wake up, or in the ballpark of 30 minutes, you need to be sitting with an acupuncturist. Now, this sleep inertia, it can last longer after several nights of insufficient sleep. And when I say several nights, I'm talking about consecutive. Because to some people, it pisses them off the fact that they can't just jump out of bed be fully functional, cognitive, everything, and get their day going. Now, sleep inertia may help you get back to sleep really quick, but it impedes the process of waking up. I mean, it's just slow. Things are just really, really slow. And if you're waking up during deep stages of sleep, it can exacerbate sleep inertia. So this isn't something to play with, and your physician will pick this up. This is all part of why I say see a physician on an annual basis, and then make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. Now you ever wonder why when let's say you look at your phone, tablet or whatever, it's just blue light. I have this thing with tech companies and the theorists that are behind the development of this stuff, because blue light exposure can negatively impact the person's sleep. And they're not dumb. I'm sure they're aware of that. That's just my opinion. That blue light on your screen can seriously impact your sleep, especially the quality of it. And this is why I've even said, make sure I've said this in a few past episodes. Make sure that you stop using your tablet, phone, laptop, whatever, a few hours before bedtime. Why? Because using these devices or even watching television too close to bedtime, it can inhibit melatonin release and delay the onset of sleep. And that's not good. Give yourself at least an hour before bedtime. And I know you're asking, what can I do? Age-old trick. Pick up a book. Read a book. Cut those blue lights off. Cut them off. Make sure your room is nice and cool and dark once you turn the light off. Easier to fall asleep. I mean, I've had individuals state to me, I sleep best when the TV's on. Yeah, well, when the TV's on, you're not getting that restorative rest. There's a difference. And I've had patients even turn the television off and try it. And when they wake up the next morning, they felt much different, for the better. Another can be due to, let's say, poor sleep hygiene. And sleep hygiene basically is about maintaining a bedroom environment as well as a daily routine that helps promote restful sleep. Just making subtle tweaks to bedding or bedtime makes a big difference. Make sure you have a good mattress, you're comfortable, your bedding is comfortable, clean. These things are important. That's good sleep hygiene. But pillows are the most important. Finding that pillow that gives you the proper neck support. Another is, I've said this a million times, drinking alcohol or caffeine before bedtime or too much during the day. Again, I'll say it again. Stop with the alcohol. Leave it alone. That's my recommendation. Caffeine, you have to drastically cut down on it. You have some black tea and it's caffeinated in the morning, keep it to morning hours. After 12 noon, no more caffeinated tea. Now, I know you're waiting for me to say coffee as well, but I'm not. Leave the coffee alone as well. But consuming caffeine in the afternoon can be a huge problem because there are many individuals that metabolize caffeine slower than others, and they don't even realize. So that process can drift over into your sleeping hours and affect your sleep. And again, when it comes to alcohol, it's a depressant. It's a depressant that can disrupt your REM stages of sleep. It can keep you from entering into the deep sleep that you really need to feel refreshed. That deep sleep that'll allow for the detoxing, the draining of these amyloid proteins that are in the brain. This has to happen. I've had individuals say, well, I just won't drink as late. Well, when do you plan on drinking? In the morning? Alcohol? Really? Most people drink alcohol late afternoon and throughout the night. If you're drinking alcohol in the morning, see an acupuncturist. There's a special protocol for that. It's called the NADA protocol. Another can be due to sleep disorders. And I say this over and over. If you're suffering from any type of sleep disorder, see an acupuncturist right away. See one right away. Sleep disorders like insomnia. I speak about that on TikTok. Acupuncture's My Life TikTok. Sleep disorders like insomnia, obstructive sleep apnea. These things interfere with sleep and wakefulness. And individuals with sleep apnea are prone to feeling tired, even if they felt as if they got a good night's sleep. Because sleep apnea causes your airways to close repeatedly throughout the night, which is not good. It's lack of oxygen going into the blood, which we need. Energy uptake, oxygen that needs to reach all tissues throughout the body via the circulation process. This all plays into the restorative aspect, replenishment, the natural replenishing process of chi. Okay? You suffer from sleep apnea, see an acupuncturist. Because not getting proper oxygen while you're sleeping plays a part in you not feeling refreshed when you wake up the next morning and you feel chi deficient. Because your more major signs of sleep apnea is like, let's say, heavy snoring, daytime drowsiness, and so forth. These are things that can be addressed with acupuncture, because as an acupuncturist, I understand that health is wealth. I know that the wealth is not in an app on your phone or in a cryptocurrency account. It's not in a bank. It's not in a safe. It's not in your wallet. I know the wealth is not in your purse, nor is it in your pocket. The wealth is also not under the mattress, nor is it in the shoebox in the closet, or under the doghouse in the backyard. The wealth is in you. But you want to know something? I've had individuals say to me, genetics plays a big role in them feeling exhausted when they wake up in the morning. I say, personal opinion, bullshit. I'm not overly, I don't run with genetics when it comes to every type of disorder we're faced with. Now, does genetics play a part in certain disorders? Yes, it does. But not as much as you may think. This is why sitting with an acupuncturist, undergoing regular wellness visits throughout the year is best for you. It takes a lot of the health burden off your shoulders. It really does. It's not that hard to make acupuncture a part of your life, because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?